Hello guys, welcome back. Now we have the Euphorias fresh from translation on Discord, and if you want to read them yourself, you can join my Discord. We have them there, they're pinned, just so you know if you would like to do that. But let's go with order. We're gonna go Lucy, Regulus, Jessica, and Semmelweis, and we'll go in order. First, Lucy. Now, Lucy, let's read it and then we'll talk about it. Rank 1. If pulsing electric field is not active at the start of the turn, activate pulsing electric field, which is the one that apparently everybody is going to use, Ulrich, Lucy, and one of the Euphoria for Ezra. After releasing a reinforced incantation, funnel part of the dynamo into pulsing electric field. So her dynamo is obviously, like we knew it was going to be, being fed into the electric field. Rank 2, when entering battle, receives several stacks of dynamo. We don't know the numbers, obviously, so this could be like super good or okay. After reinforcing an incantation, receives data iteration, which if you don't remember is a undispellable buff for her to do more damage. Just a damage plus 4, I believe. Rank 3. When entering a certain level of pulsing electric field, and the electric field will have 3 levels, acquire several stacks of overcharged ammunition. And when attack crits, also receives overcharge ammunition, which, if I remember correctly, is supposed to be an attack that when you attack, you gain 10 dynamo. And in this case, you will gain it multiple times. Before, I think it was just from the ultimate. Now, you are getting, if the electric field is enhanced, I'm assuming a level 3, I would assume, so maximum power, you will acquire several charges, and if you crit, which is very often, you will also receive one. So when you are doing the attack, it will be used as well, and it's plus 10 dynamo, which will be then funneled into the electric field. Rank 4, reinforcing incantation, no longer consumes dynamo. Now, before, from the I1, we had 20 dynamo requirement for triggering the reinforced, the one where you get presented with 3 cards, or get 2 cards. What do you want to level up? You augment the certain cards. Now, it will no longer rely on dynamo. When an enemy is defeated, you will no longer acquire dynamo. When under the effect different levels of pulsing electric field, reinforced incantation deals extra reality damage. Reinforced incantations enjoy ultimate might, and each stack of data iteration increases the effect of ultimate might. Now, my question is, how are you going to reinforce incantations now? When are you doing that? Exactly, because before it was like 20 dynamo. It might just be that you are still getting the 20 dynamo requirement, but it's just a check, a requirement. After you get to the requirement, you reinforce it anyway. Actually, I think it's gonna be like this. You get the reinforcement window, but you don't consume the dynamo. You used to consume the dynamo. So I think that's just the change. That's why they don't address how, because it didn't change. It just checks. You have 20? Yes, go reinforce. But then you are using the dynamo for funneling into the electric field. So this is playing into the new meta, let's say, the new ways they want us to play Lucy and Ulrich, and if you want, also Ezra together. They will all share the same domain of electric field and upgrade it, and each one of them is going to have multiple buffs from the electric field, as we saw for Lucy. Lucy P5 havers. Rejoice, even P0, but P5 evers, holy, we're eating good with that electric field. That team is gonna go crazy. Now, speaking of teams that go crazy, we move on into Regulus for impromptu. Now, in this case, like, I don't really understand why they felt that they needed another Eureka that directly, Euphoria, that directly replaces an impromptu character, or like that has a potential to replace another impromptu character that was made impromptu because of the Euphoria. It's kind of redundant, but let's go ahead and check Regulus. Now, she's impromptu. Rank 1, receives max Eureka. When entering battle, increases Eureka. When allies consume Eureka, accumulate points of inspiration. When entering battle, accumulate points of inspiration. From the start of the next turn onwards, acquires a preparation incantation Long Live Rock every start of the turn. Now, when entering battle, receives Restless Heart, which is plus 50% critical rate. Restless Heart is now dispelled when attacks do not crit. Okay. Insight 3 changes to if under a Restless Heart. At the start of the battle, you will also gain sturdiness. So it's a little bit of like help for mitigation of damage in conjunction with Kiperina, I would say, because like she gives shields, but that's it. Getting more sturdiness is always good. Minus 25% damage taken. Long Live Rock. At the highest, which you acquire, this is the preparation incantation every start of the turn. This is what it does. At the highest point of inspiration, adds the highest point of inspiration from the unused incantation last turn into the impromptu incantation of this turn. So this fixes, I don't know if devs listened. I don't know if they watched my video, or maybe it was very easy. Actually, let's drop the ego. Let's drop the memes and the ego. I think it was just like obvious, right? I talked about this in one of my videos, and obviously it was a natural fix. But I asked for this. That's what I asked in my video, how to fix impromptu. One of the things was that I proposed was like, maybe if you can't get all of the cards with the big inspiration numbers on them, maybe you can have a character that keeps the numbers. And this is basically what I said, right? But yeah, it's probably obvious. It was probably obvious. So yeah, now if you are leaving out because you don't have enough AP, or because you were trying to do some different combo with the cards, and you're leaving out a 5, a 6, a 7, I don't know, it depends how, where are you in the fight. If you're leaving out a 5 inspiration, it's gonna be cringe. But if you have Regulus and you have this long live rock at every start of the turn, that card, that 5 is going to be saved for the next turn. You're going to be having +5. So that is pretty good. I like that a lot. Rank 2, that's rank 1. Rank 2, consumes Eureka after releasing a treat for the ears and challenge for the eyes to increase impromptu incantation number of attacks. Now, obviously, this is what every impromptu character, in my opinion, should have. When you are doing your cards, you are also increasing impromptu power in a certain way. Now, some of the characters are not necessarily increasing the number of attacks, but in this case, both of the skills are increasing number of attacks, which is something that I really like, because impromptu already does a lot of damage. So having more number of attacks, it helps both doing more damage, obviously, but also if you are early on, or for whatever reason you couldn't get too much incantation stored that turn, and it was going to deal shit damage. If it's shit damage, but you're attacking like 15 times, then it's not shit anymore, right? So it kind of solves the little nitpick of not having enough damage if you, for some reason, don't manage to get enough inspiration for that turn. So that's pretty interesting. Rank 3, after ulting, add a certain point of inspiration to the impromptu incantation this turn, which is +8, and every impromptu character has it, which is really good. So you can, this another character that does it. Rank 4, at the start of the turn, the main target of the first attack dealt by the unit immediately before Regulus will also inflict rock focus. So if you are attacking someone with a character before Regulus, will be inflicted with rock focus, and rock focus is improvised incantations attacks will prioritize this target. Now, how does this look? Is it actually 2 or 3 or 2 attacks converging into one guy? Because impromptu splits, right? It's going to split. And usually it's random, but now you are telling where to go. You can do that with Voyager as well, with orbital direction after you're doing the ult. But in this case, it's way more often, because at the start of the turn, you can do that. So at the start of the turn, someone is going to attack. You do the first AP. The first AP consumed is going to be somebody. That somebody that attacks is going to determine where rock focus goes. Boom. Now this guy is the target. What is impromptu going to do? Is impromptu going to do all on one, or is still going to dedicate one of the two shots on the enemy the exact same way orbital direction worked? This is something that we're gonna have to see. I believe I have Regulus in CN, so I can build her to check. But yeah, now my question is, why are we replacing Voyager? Because this is basically a Voyager replace, right? I guess it's two options for you. I guess if you want to focus more on, I don't know, doing a little bit more damage and doing a little more of attacks and like focusing way more than before, it's like more focus, while Voyager, unless you do the ult, impromptu is kind of going everywhere. So I don't know, it's kind of, I don't really understand why they decided to go for this, but it also made sense because Regulus was due to Euphoria and she's star. So moving on into Jessica, they tried again. Did they succeeded this time? I don't know. We'll see. Jessica, the stories shall be woven with twigs. Rank 1, when entering battle and after a certain number of turns each time, inflicts fungal invasion of enemies. Fungal invasion is, at the start of the turn, resolves a certain stack of poison. This will not decrease the duration of poison. So it's a free bloop, right? After a certain number of turns, which probably coincides with her passive, which is like every other turn you do a little bit of poison. It could coincide. Rank 2, after the ult hits, immediately resolve all poison on enemies. Now, this one could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what you're trying to do, because maybe you don't want to explode the poison just yet, or you're not inside the Tuesday ultimate, but this is something good to have, and you can just keep it on the side, and once you are inside the Tuesday ult, now you have two blow-ups nukes, the Sotheby ult and Jessica ult. So could be an option for the doubling down on giga damage, right? Rank 3, after White Blank, which is the single target attack, and Good Friends, which is the AoE attack, hits, inflicts poison. So now these cards will inflict poison. How much poison? I don't know. At the end of the turn, if an enemy has over a certain number of poison, we don't know either what this certain number is, but it's going to be pretty reachable because poison is going to be usually stacks tremendously if you're playing the full poison comp. After a certain number of poison that they have, she will release White Blankie automatically to the enemy with the highest percentage of HP and gain Moxie. Now, even if it's one Moxie, it's still good, and it will basically release this White Blankie automatically, which we saw just now that from the same rank that they inflict poison. So it will deal that because White Blankie does some damage. So it will deal a little bit of damage, like maybe 15k, 10, 15k extra damage, plus apply poison. I don't know how much, maybe 2, 3, 1, I don't know. And so yeah, it's doubling down again, and it's automatic. Anything automatic, it's welcomed because like we are starving of with AP like constantly. Rank 4, fungal invasion now includes the following, which is what you gain after a certain number of turns each time. Increased damage taken from poison, really good. When poison is resolved on self, acquire. This is probably like kinda mistranslated. I think it's like when poison is resolved, she acquires fungus. Resolved on self, like she doesn't have poison on herself. I think this is meant to be when poison is resolved on the enemy, she acquires fungus. When inflicting fungal invasion, for every number of stacks of fungus, inflicts poison. Then remove fungus. Fungus, Jessica can turn it into poison. So she will have this buff that she throws on the enemy with fungal invasion. It will become poison, I think, once you inflict this fungus, and it will be removed from you. So you gain that when you dissolve poison. Then once it's your turn to do fungal invasion, you will apply this fungus, it will become poison, and you remove the fungus on you, and you need to gain it again. So it's not bad. It's not bad. So, you know, we'll see. Last one, Semmelweis, Crimson Like 1,000 Moons. This is literally just giga double down plus Blood Tithe on what she does, right? Rank 1, when allies lose HP, accumulate Blood Tithe. When entering battle, self-max HP increase. All other allies also increase max HP, scaling to Semmelweis max HP. Doubling, quadrupling down on HP. Rank 2, effective means also gives further increased damage dealt by the allies with fresh blood. This effect lasts for a longer time than to usual allies. Fresh blood turns now into, after action, loses certain percentage of current HP and increases crit rate and crit damage. Rank 3, this is rank 2. Rank 3, for every certain number of blood tithe accumulated, increases self-moxie. Truth Revealed is now scaled with max HP instead of attack, so again, HP, as well as dealing extra reality damage and increased blood tithe. Rank 4, Blood Domain also gives all allies receive extra healing. For every certain amount of percentage HP allies have lost, further increases healing. So it makes it easier for you to be healed up. When under Blood Domain, if Blood Tithe maximum reaches a certain amount, because I believe you can increase the Blood Tithe max. I believe Ezra does it. And Nautica does it. I don't remember Nautica, but one of the two does it, and they can increase the cap by a certain amount. I think Nautica does it too. Reaches a certain amount. All allies lose HP after an action, and damage increase for follow-up attack is up. Allies with fresh blood also increase damage for follow-up attacks. So this is basically, it's telling you, bruh, play Nautica, Semmelweis, Ezra with the Blood Tithe Euphoria, and then a healer. I don't know if we can somehow justify Medicine Pocket. I don't think it makes that much sense, because their healing is not that big of a deal, even though it's automatic. Maybe it will be okay because they received extra healing, but there's probably gonna be a little bit of cooking and like theorizing on who's the best healing for this type of, who's the best like support healer for this Nautica team. As for now though, that it's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think these Euphorias are pretty banging. I think they're pretty good. Now, the Regulus Euphoria is good, but I don't know why they're doing that to Voyager, but it is what it is. Maybe play whoever you like, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. Impromptu is just so strong. Jessica, will she be enough now to be slaughtered into poison? Who knows? Semmelweis is stronger than before, nothing insane. And Lucy is stronger than before, and now we're doubling down on electric field with Dynamo. Out the wazoo. Okay, so for now that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Join Discord, join the live at twitch.tv/Jakazin, and see you next time.